Hey everyone, Kumar here with DigiPro SEO, and I'm excited to give you guys an update about getting challenged to a marketing battle. I wanted to turn this into a fun video series to show off what a good marketing plan looks like and getting results from it. You know, far too often I see some of the most consistent problems in failing marketing plans, and I figured why not talk about it during this challenge too. So you get to see a winning marketing plan in action and why marketing plans fail. So, a buddy of mine, he runs a marketing agency and he's been challenging me for the past couple months to see who could get the best results. I even posted about it on social media a while back and had a few people message me to do it with a few requests on what they wanted to see too, like the animation I made back in June. Or how I integrated things like AI, Chat GPT, and all types of different automations into my marketing, doing things like posting on social media automatically for me at any time or every day. So if I said something like, post a tweet about AI automation every day at 10 a.m., it would head over to Twitter, write the post, and even research and include the hashtags for me. And just like that, I saved a ton of time creating and scheduling content every day in a matter of seconds. So at the end of the day, I called my buddy up and said, let's do it. Now, fun fact, this challenge is from June to August, so I'm a bit late creating the videos I wanted because for starters, it started in June. And then I ran into a few problems that ended up getting my marketing shut down. But more on that later. So the contest rules are as follows. As a marketer, one of the main things we try to achieve is generating traffic to places like our websites. So for the first goal, we chose to increase website traffic by 30%. And our benchmark is the average from the last 3 months. For the second contest goal, we wanted to use social media with a twist. So we wanted to make it tougher by increasing your personal LinkedIn profile views by 30% and connections by 10%. Kind of a mix between influencer and brand marketing. And last but not least, we need to get a minimum of 50 leads, or in other words, people who want to buy whatever we offer or selling. So for the first contest goal was to increase my website traffic by 30% more than the last 3 months. Meaning I've got to get people to bust through the door to come to my website. So one of the first things I did was head over to Google Analytics, which is a fancy place by Google to tell me information about my website. Looked at the total traffic I had over the last 3 months from March, April, and May, which is about 253. And if we divide that by 3, then I had about 84 people come to my website per month. So for the first month of the contest to increase the website traffic by 30%, we did it. In the first month of June, I had about 3,300 people come to my website, which means we went from 84 people per month to 3,300 people in the month of June alone. That's almost a 4,000% increase in website traffic. And the best part is there was no advertising involved. Actually, the bulk of it was organic social media traffic. Not bad for someone who wasn't paying for ads to generate their traffic, right? But let's move on to the rest of the contest. So for the next contest goal around social media, it was to increase my personal LinkedIn profile views by 30% and connections by 10%. This part of the contest was unique because it's based on more of being an influencer than focusing mostly on the brand itself. So to get my benchmarks for increasing my personal profile views by 30%, I logged into LinkedIn to get my benchmark and took a screenshot of my current views at 51. Then at the end of the month, I took another screenshot and saw that I shot up to 216. And if you like data, that's a 324% increase in personal profile views. So at this point, I'm hitting all my goals so far. Then for the next part of the goal to increase my friends or followers by 10%, it was a little disappointing because I only increased it by 7%, but it happens. You fall short sometimes. So as far as completing the social media challenge for the first month, technically I failed even though I got 1 out of the 2 goals for the contest, but it's data that I can learn from to make adjustments later. But now to get into the was it worth it question. All right, arguably the most important part of this contest, and that's generating leads. So what did all that marketing do for me? So remember, for this part of the contest, we had to get a minimum of 50 leads. That could have been through website forms, phone calls, social media, email, text messaging. Honestly, sky's the limit for how people contact you these days, but as long as you're tracking it, you're fine. So 90 messages on LinkedIn, 35 direct bookings on my website, 71 phone calls, and that all adds up to 196 leads for the month of June alone. So I exceeded my lead goal by 292%. So now that I showed you the results, let me tell you how I did it and the problems I faced. This all brings me to ask, do you even have a marketing plan? So my marketing plan worked because of a few things, like understanding my customer persona, or you might know it as your target audience. Both are the same thing. You just need to understand who you're talking to so that your message and offer is catered to them. You also need to understand where your target audience hangs out. A good tool for understanding your target audience is using HubSpot's customer persona worksheet to help you understand who you're marketing to. So in my case, I created my worksheet and I went to a step further and sent out a survey to a few business owners and managers to ask, where do you go for personal or business growth advice online? Once they told me those groups and communities, I did my own market research to see if I should pursue them or not. Then the next thing I did was build an evergreen marketing plan so that I could always add on to it. This should be the only way that you ever build your marketing plans, so that it gives you the flexibility to build on top of that foundation. The next thing I did was understand my own timeline for results and consider what short-term or long-term marketing plan would be best for me. I've seen a lot of people not understand the type of marketing plan that they have and get upset at the results. So be sure to have a thorough conversation with whoever's helping you with your marketing plan to understand what you're going to get. Next, I wondered how many interactions I needed to have with someone online before they converted into a lead. After all, I don't want to do something and then wonder why it isn't working. So I headed over to Google search and searched for how many touch points does it take to convert a lead. And I saw that the minimum was 8 touch points, but it can be even higher than that. So now that I know I needed a minimum of 8 touch points to go from someone being interested to a lead, I needed a marketing plan that reflected this concept. Then I had to understand the budget I had for this campaign to see what my options were to get my results. After that, I had to make sure I built a marketing plan that focused on what's called an omnichannel approach. That just means instead of marketing in one place, I do it in multiple places with consistent messaging to increase my odds of reaching my goals. And over time, whatever works best is the one I start to invest into more. Sounds smart, right? And one of the most important things people don't do is getting out of your own way. You gotta allow your marketing to breathe so that it can either fail or succeed. Marketing is all about data. So even when I fail, I'm still winning because I got so much valuable data and feedback that'll help me improve on the campaign. Just keep in mind, marketing is a scientific study of the human mind and its functions, especially those affecting behavior in a given context. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because that's the literal definition of psychology. That's why marketing requires ongoing tests to see what's going to work best for your specific brand and market. For example, the same marketing lingo in Philly where people say John probably wouldn't work anywhere else. Like, that John looks nice or that John tastes good. The same way the Morgan & Morgan law firm has been playing into the Philadelphia culture for years, where John Morgan put a spin to his name to include the Philly lingo, John Morgan. And because of successful testing, they're okay with spending $20,000+ on a single billboard. So with all of these things in mind, I decided to utilize all of the social media groups and communities I could find since the message was going to be consistent anyway. Then I used automation to help me post automatically within these groups and communities the same way you saw me do it earlier. And from there, I just responded to any questions or inquiries people made from my posts. You see, your marketing plan is your foundation and there's no magic bullet for success. It takes a lot of research and testing to see what will potentially work and not what will work, because no one knows for sure what will work until it's tested. So just be mindful of the marketing plan that you get is from someone who builds plans or someone who can support a plan. Two very different things, and having one skill doesn't necessarily mean that person is terrible. It just means that they may excel in a certain area. Remember, omnichannel marketing will always be the best way to go. And a helpful tidbit people often overlook is to incorporate what's already working for you within your marketing plan. If you're already doing something and it can be improved on, do it. And while you're doing it, you can add on more options to explore after that. Make sense? Good. Now, last but not least, the problem I went through during this challenge that got my entire marketing shut down. It's actually one of the biggest challenges in marketing, and that was keeping up with demand. Remember, there's over 30,000 people on my website, and I didn't have a proper team in place to help me review everyone's needs. Simple questions like, what's your marketing goals? Is this your first time working with a marketer? What are some of the pain points you've been facing? Or how long have you been dealing with these pain points? And the list goes on. And you don't need to be a marketer to ask these types of questions. I just needed to qualify the person I was talking to so that I could determine if I wanted to work with that person or not. And this is what you call qualifying a lead. A simple term for saying, do you meet my requirements to work with? Because all money isn't good money. The last thing you want to do is work with someone you know will give you a headache or have unrealistic expectations you just can't fulfill. That's a great way to get you a bad rating on places like Google or Yelp and have a future lead see it, so I'm good. And you know what? I probably should have clarified this before, but the 196 leads that I have are qualified leads that I want to work with. So, going back to my problem, all that traffic I got forced me to literally shut my marketing down every couple of days just to keep up with the demand. And now that I think about it, it's probably why I fell short in one of my goals too. But I had to shut it down because the number one thing I tell people all the time is to contact your leads immediately. Not tomorrow, not next week, literally the same day, if not almost instantly. There's no reason why you should ever think you're the only person that lead contacted. But for me, the solution was simple, and that was to create an intake process or sales process of what I needed to happen. In the meantime, I'll be contacting these leads and blowing off steam, creating random animation videos online like the one I posted recently. And that's it. The contest, the rules, goals in my first month of June, generating some great results so far and helping you guys understand the thought process you should have when reviewing and considering data, especially to do with marketing. But overall, I hope I created some kind of value here, and I definitely recommend trying some of the concepts I did in this video, and I guarantee you'll find similar success. Kind of leading by example with me going through the process, achieving the results in real time, and passing it on to you. You know, marketing can be as easy as you allow it to be, but if you'd like help launching and putting together your marketing plan, feel free to reach out to me and I'd be happy to help. So thanks for watching, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below on your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you guys think, maybe some of the things that you might want to see next, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.